Hello? Can you hear me? Hi! It's been a while. Oh my goodness. I totally filmed an entire episode for you guys last weekend, and I've been having the worst time trying to get it to upload to YouTube. I've been screaming for you all week. Could you hear me? Well, it's gonna be a little outdated, but I wanted to post the episode because I'd already put all the time into editing, and unfortunately I don't have the time to record a whole new episode this weekend. So, without further ado, here you go.
Hey, this is Ryan coming to you from beautiful East Hampton, Massachusetts for a Stitch Drop. I'm shooting today from Millside Park in East Hampton, which is very close to where I live. I am over there. I was in the park proper, but then the second I got everything situated and I got the camera going and everything was all laid out and ready to go, they started mowing. I hope you can't hear them. Okay, now you can probably hear them. So I kind of packed up all of my stuff and I moved a little closer down towards the pond. So hopefully I still got the beautiful view with better sound. If it's a little choppy, it's because I'm going to be editing out the mower every time he goes by. He's gone by like 18 times really, really closely. So he's got to be close to done with this end of the pond. It's a little rocky down here, so I've been kind of shifting my position and trying to get comfortable. So if I move or have to move the camera around, that's what's going on. So, my last episode, I did get some... Oh, hi. This little chipmunk came to say hi to me. There's like chipmunks and birds and bugs and snails and fish and all sorts of animals all over here. It's actually kind of cool. I need to come down here more often. After episode 2, I did get some remarks that the podcast was a little long. An hour is pretty standard for a knitting podcast. I'm going to try to keep it a little more organized and a little more condensed, especially with the knitting stuff at the beginning of the podcast, so that way if you're not interested in the other stuff and the ramblings and musings that I have to give to the world, then I'll leave that towards the end of the podcast and you can leave after the knitting's done. I think that's fair. Things I'm going to talk about today, I do have some more stash buddies to show off. I do have one work in progress to talk about, a couple of upcoming plans, and then that's really it for the big regimented stuff. It's 2 weeks and I've barely got anything to talk about there. I should say, today is Friday morning, it's about 10 o'clock. I had a little bit of kerfluffle getting out of the house this morning. I wanted to have this done much earlier. What do you do when you can't find your keys for 30 minutes and then they're exactly where you would have put them? These are the things I do on a daily basis. So... Memorial Day weekend. I've got a lot of plans this weekend that I'm excited to talk about. I also realized I did not include the video from my last outing, the tent sale, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to play that in the intro and you'll have seen it already. I do have a lot of fun stuff planned this weekend, so hopefully I'll be much better at taking pictures and videos and such so that I can share those at the end of the video. Let's get started with the knitting. I did finish the back of my chain link sweater by Noragon, the one that I showed last time. And then I started thinking about it and I realized that even though I've been waiting forever to start that sweater, it's 100% wool, it's 3/4 sleeves. There's no way I'm wearing that before this fall. So I've decided that I'm going to put it away for a little bit. I did finish the entire back. It seems like a good place to stop. I'm going to put that away for a little while and start working on some other projects. I do have some summer sweaters that I had planned on making. One of them was that Midsummer Iran that I had brought up last time. I did find another one, and well, might as well just show it to you now. I found this beautiful summer top type thing. It's from Barocco Booklet 327, and it's specifically for Fuji, which I had bought a lot of this yarn at last year's tent sale and had no idea what I was going to do with it. I just got all of the skeins in one color that I could possibly find. And then when I went this year, I found a $5 booklet for that same exact yarn type. And this is what I'm planning on making with it. It seems like a nice sleeveless summery top, something that I can wear now. If I put like a tank top under it with a nice skirt, I could wear it to the office. It's something that I can use now. Knitting for myself now, like we talked about. So, even though I wasn't gonna go here first. This is the colorway that I got for that Barocco Fuji. That's coming out really good. It's really interesting because it looks like it's woven, but it has little nubs of stuff in it, and it has another thread plied through the chainette. So it's this marled, beautiful thing. It's kind of dusty rose colored, I think, and it looks like it has some kind of like orange rough spun boucle type stuff worked into it, and then the thread that's woven in between is violet. It's very violet. So I end up getting this marled kind of marbly maroon type color. I really love it. It's really complex. This stuff is 38% silk, 25% cotton, 22% rayon, and 15% nylon. It is machine washable. Gotta love that. It's going to be very durable, it's going to be very cool, it's going to be very drapey, all things that I am looking for in clothing right now. We did have some cold for quite a while. I think there's fish over there distracting me. We did have some cold for a while, but it's been in like the 80s the last couple of days and I'm dying. Summer is officially here. So I am going to stop on the sweater for a while. Season doesn't usually bother me for knitting. It's not like I mind having it on my lap, but it just doesn't make sense if I'm not going to wear it now. And then to start this project in, you know, September, that's just silly. So that's what I'm doing there. In the meantime, I've been following Eric's Sticks Plus Twine podcast, and it's literally Sticks + Twine, not Sticks and Twine. He is out of Canada, Toronto, I believe, and he started a movie night sock knit along. Now the movie night sock, I have such a hard time saying this, the movie night sock pattern is not his. I don't know if he knows the designer, but he's certainly promoting this particular pattern. And the whole premise is to knit this movie night sock pattern in a colorway of yarn that reminds you of a movie. I had this beautiful yarn sitting around. It's Patton's Croix Socks FX in the Clover colorway. Now take a look at this beautiful stuff. Look at this. Those colors are kind of coming out pretty good. There's teals and blues and oranges and reds and greens. And my inspiration is the Heaven in a Painting from the movie What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams. It's a fantastic movie if you haven't seen it. Unfortunately, it seems I still only have it on VHS. So I'm trying to watch it while I'm knitting, but I gotta hook up my VCR. This project, let me preface this by, the pattern is wonderfully written. It's very clear, it's very easy to follow. The stitch pattern itself is easy to memorize. It's a very wonderful pattern. The yarn is fantastic, and I'll get to that in a second, but I've been having so much trouble with this project. And it's just me. It's all 100% me. I decided what I was going to use. I posted some stock photos of the yarn with a picture, the inspiration picture from the movie, told the whole group what I was going to do, and then I lost the yarn. How do you lose yarn? It's not like I have a big enough stash that I shouldn't be able to find it. It's in there somewhere. It's in my house somewhere. I just don't know where. I don't know what I did with it. I'm starting to think that maybe I made up that I bought this yarn. Maybe I didn't really buy it. So I waited about a week for it to show up. And mind you, there's only a month for this knit along. So I gave myself a week to find it and I couldn't find it. So I bought some more. This is a little more green than the other one was. I feel like the other two skeins I got were a little more bluish. But that's okay, I don't mind it. I still feel like the marled colors are working out really good for my inspiration. You can see the flat side too. It's so beautiful. It is a 4-ply sock yarn, which I've never even seen before. And each ply is a different color and they variegate at different rates. So that's how we get all these marled stripe-like colors going through it. This is what the skein looks like. You want to take a look? I mean, you can pretty much get this at any craft store. I got it at Michael's. I've seen it at AC Moore before. Joann's probably has it. It's pretty standard stock yarn. It is 75% washable wool and 25% nylon, so it's going to be durable as heck, and it's washable, things that I really look for. The yarn is a little on the thick side, so it's making these really heavy-duty, thick socks. These are like sledding socks, ice skating socks. They're going to be really nice, house socks even. They're going to be durable as heck. They're going to be warm. They're going to be beautiful. So the pattern itself is designed to be knit from cuff down. So I did this, but it didn't occur to me that I usually use about 450 yards of yarn per pair of socks. Each of these skeins is 166 yards, which, if you do the math, and obviously I didn't, is not 450. So I wasn't really thinking about it. I got about halfway through my foot and I ran out of yarn. So I thought, well, I don't want to unravel it. I'll just hook up the second skein and I'll go out and buy another skein, and I'll use 3 skeins for this project. Then I got a little farther, almost to the toe, and realized that it was entirely too wide as well because I had not done a gauge swatch again. So I finally had it. I had it and I ripped the whole thing out. And again, these are all my problems. This is nothing to do with with the pattern or the yarn or anything. So then, at my own suggestion from the last podcast, I did buy Nathan Taylor's recipe for toe-up socks. And it, there's a bee that wants to be on the podcast too. So I bought Nathan Taylor's recipe for toe-up socks, and it's toe-up socks with a heel flap. Who wouldn't want that? I love heel flaps. I am tough on my socks. Usually, I haven't worn through a handmade pair of socks, but I've only made like a couple pairs for myself in the last year or so. So that still leaves some time. I am past the heel now. It is kind of brilliant the way he does the math, and he is worked out. I mean, sockmatician, socks and math, like mathematician, sockmatician. He's worked out the formula for you, so you just have to figure out how many stitches you want to cast on, like how many you want for your circumference, and then he provides formulas to figure out the math for all of the rest of the sock, which are pretty easy to follow. I have been doing it late at night. Again, my problem, and not doing the math right because I am bad at math. So it's been taking me a little while. I did have to do the heel turn a couple of times, but the heel flap itself it's super brilliant. I was trying to figure out how he would do it before I started the pattern, and it's like, oh wow, why didn't I think of that? So they're coming out really good. I don't know if I'm going to finish on time at this point. I'm still on the first sock this way. It is working successfully, but I may not finish in time. So we'll see. That is the only project that I'm currently working on because I put the sweater away. I gotta find my needle thing. My leg has completely fallen asleep. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm starting to get some circulation back into my leg now, so let's start talking about stash enhancement. Again, this is all from the tent sale that I went to at Webb's. This is really the end of it. Like I said, I didn't buy an enormous amount of yarn. It was just too much to show in one episode. I did get a whole bunch of socks. I had mentioned before that I was working, I was part of a Sock of the Month club. It is the Everlasting Sock Club, I think. I'm going to put, stuff so you know what I'm talking about. Feel free to join the Ravelry Group. This is the one that has different challenges every month. In May, one of the challenges is to knit something that's inspired by a movie. I'm already doing the movie knit along, so that works great. But like I had said, I'm doing it so that I can make socks for family members, essentially, for Christmas gifts. So that's what I'm working on now. And spoilers, if any of you are watching. Of course you're watching. I'm sure you're my core audience right now, and I love you for it. Thank you. So I did get 3 balls of Barocco socks. There is this one, which is all like grays and blues. If I had time, I was thinking about doing a second pair of socks for the movie knit along and doing this as like my hell socks, also from What Dreams May Come. So my camera ran out of room again. I took a minute to download the video and stretch my legs and enjoy some of the scenery. There's fish and turtles saying hello, and there's snails all over the place over here, which is kind of cute. So, I was saying, a lot of the stash that I purchased was to make socks for relatives and such for Christmas. So that's what I have here. The Barocco socks that I was going to make for my husband. He's claimed this colorway already. I have this beautiful, like, fantastic, see if we can get that without it blowing out. That's good. Look at those colors. That's amazing. I think they're probably going to stripe a little, and I didn't intend to buy striping yarn, but that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to have to find some nice simple patterns that I can handle. Usually if patterns aren't complicated enough, I get pretty bored, so I'm going to have to find something that won't bore me, but that will work up pretty quickly. Maybe I'll do some vanilla socks. I've never tried, so we'll see how it goes. And then this one, all of these colors are coming out pretty good. This is a good spot. Then I also ended up getting some comfort sock, the Barocco socks themselves, and I didn't realize, I was madly grabbing things and throwing them in my bag. They are all machine washable, but the Barocco socks are 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon. The comfort socks are 50% nylon and 50% acrylic, so they're 100% fake, I guess, with like a chainette fiber instead of the ply, which is, I mean, it makes sense because it's not natural fiber. So here is one. I only got 2 of those. That's looking pretty cool. And then the other, that's blues and greens and purples and grays. I kind of wish I could keep all of these myself, but that's A, selfish, and B, I don't need, well, I kind of do need all that many socks, but I don't really. So there's that. I'm working on those. Gary's socks will probably be next. He's never asked me to knit him anything, and I asked him if I could knit him something. Let me make that clear. He didn't actually ask me to knit him something, but he did say that he would wear some socks if I made them for him, so that's going to happen. I've also got classes coming up soon, and I had said that I bought yarn for that. I almost hate to use this for it, but I did get Aslan Trends luxury yarns. I found 3 skeins of King Baby Llama and Mulberry Silk in like this khaki color. It kind of feels like a small animal. I want to pet it. There's a bird. It's distracting me. It's eating a caterpillar. Good, eat those caterpillars. I don't like caterpillars very much. So it's got this beautiful, like, I can see a couple guard hairs, but it's so soft. It's so beautiful. That's for my advanced fearless finishing class. We're going to be doing like steeks and zippers and I don't know what, like it honestly sounds kind of scary. It sounds really intense. But I needed a contrasting color. I also found this, which is in like this olive green khaki-ish color. Very beautiful. This one is Royal Alpaca, 100% Royal Alpaca. Oh, crane. You'll see it in a second. It's coming. Oh, it went up in the trees. I don't know if you can see that from there, but they, oh, there's some more of them. Ducks? Maybe they're not cranes. Maybe they're ducks. They're probably ducks. There's a lot of mallards. There's like goose poop all over here too, so I've been trying not to make a mess of myself. So like I was saying, I'm almost kind of, I almost don't want to use it, but they were $2.50 a skein. I mean, $2.50 a skein, and there wasn't that many in each of the colors. I think these were the only colors they were. I really grabbed basically what was in the box. So that's going to be for my class, which I got to start the homework soon too. That's why I haven't started the other sweater that I was talking about, because I got to do the homework first. The classes are going to be starting in June, which is like next week. So we'll see. So that's it. That was my stash. That was everything that I bought, which is not that bad. This is pretty much the conclusion of all of that organized knitting stuff that I said I was going to talk about. So if you want to tune out now, go ahead. I'm just going to talk about my weekend plans, which do kind of include woolly fiber stuff. So, stay tuned. Okay, a little better. I had to situate myself again. It's not very comfortable down here. But it is Memorial Day weekend. Thank you. It's Memorial Day weekend. So, first off, thank you to all the troops who have given their lives so that I can do this. I appreciate that. It's basically so I can do whatever the heck I want, and you can't put a price on that. So, thank you to everybody who's served, past, or will serve in the future. I really appreciate it, and let's try not to forget about that when we're eating our hot dogs and hamburgers and watching fireworks. Just saying. Tomorrow is Saturday. I gotta work Saturday. Wah wah. But I was thinking about barbecuing on Saturday evening. We'll see how the weather goes. Sunday is the exciting one. Sunday, I am going to Wool Days at Old Sturbridge Village. Now, if you don't know what Old Sturbridge Village is, it's a non-historical historical area. Figure that out. It's a village of buildings which were not original to the location, from what I understand. Maybe one or two. And they've taken all of these historic buildings and rebuilt them to create this little village with like a little common, and it's a place for historical reenactment. So there are like colonial era actors and garb of the period, and they do things, seasonal things of the period. I think it's like $20 to get in. This weekend is Wool Days. They keep livestock and sheep and such, and this is when they shear the sheep. They do the first shearing on Memorial Day weekend and make a big thing out of it. So they have, like spinning demonstrations and stuff, which they really do. I think they have all year round, because I've only been one other time. I went for maple sugaring season, which is, for people who don't know, that's like February-ish. It's when it first starts to get a little bit warmer, so like February, March. And that's when the sap starts to run. So I did see a spinning demonstration then. I think it's just bigger now. They're also doing sheep herding demonstrations. So I'm hoping at the end of this video, I'm going to be able to include some videos and pictures. I know I said that last time. I'm really bad at remembering to take said videos and pictures until like we're about to get in the car. And then I'm like, oh, everybody snap a picture wherever we are, so I can say I took a picture. So I'm hoping I'm going to get some pretty good videos of that. For having their own sheep, they have a surprising little amount of yarn for sale in their gift store. They really have like little mini skeins, I guess. I did buy one last time I went. We'll see if there's more now. But I'm not keeping my hopes up. I don't expect stash enhancement. But it's going to be really cool. They usually have somebody cooking, and they have period food. They also have a really like period food, like they were sampling period food last time I went. And that may have been because of the sugaring. They were making donuts, and they were making their own maple sugar over a fire, which, like big cauldron. Very cool. And they do have like a little, like a lunch cafe kind of thing. But it's like sit down fine dining. That's what I'm looking for. Sit down fine dining. And we did not do that last year, so I don't expect we're going to this year. I don't know. We'll see. But it's really cool, and hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about. Monday I've got a birthday party to go to, so I don't have any like holiday festive stuff to go on, but we will be at a park. We will be outside. It'll be really nice. So, big weekend, really exciting, and I'm kicking it off and starting it with you guys. So, that's all I have for this week. Stitch Drop. Thank you very much for your time and your patience, and I will talk to you later. Bye.